It is day 7. I'm band Backyard Carpenters, Baby Boomers Can Do. We are on YouTube. Dane is at the doctor. But anyway, I'm continuing to work on this very old dining room table. She actually stripped off everything, and she amazes me if I, oh, here, yeah, this is what she got out, this is stripped out of just the main table there. So she amazes me how she can get this stuff. Anyway, and also this, I was using my palm sander, and see the gumminess? Well, that's what we're running into on the shininess. Let me take the camera off for a second. I'll show you what we're talking about on the shininess. All right. Okay, this, see, you can see it. See the shininess? Well, that is hard to get off, and then it gums up my palm sander. That's what I was facing on these two, right? So the other thing I've got to do is sand these lightly again, work on removing last. This is now smooth all the way across, except for this one, which is this one is bowed, okay? And then I got to finish sanding this down and get it really, really smooth. And then I'm going to start putting this together. This is 63 inches. All right, so I'm going to put this back together and start taking my wood that's in the corner right there and making the framework for put all this together. So it's actually making progress. So I got to get started. All right, now I've put a 320 grit on a palm sander, and I'm going with the grain. And I'm using a damp towel, not a wet towel. All right, and now I'm gonna wipe this down, all right, to get the excess sawdust off of it. All right, then after they've kind of dried a little bit, I'm gonna move on back over to the main table and see if I can get the last of that shiny stuff off. All right. And also I've got to make sure the legs are all cleaned off and got all the excess goopy stuff off of them. All right. So this is what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm just taking this leg and looking for any places that have a little bit of the goopy stuff, debris still on it. I'm wiping them down. Again, I'm using a damp towel. All right, I need my toothbrush. Now, all right, so this is what I'm doing, and I'm gonna let the two main sections, the front and back, or the two sides, excuse me, dry out, and then I'm going to get a hold of the main table, see if I can get the last of the shiny stuff off of it. Like I said, it gums up, the shiny stuff gums up my palm sander, so I may have to do the same thing to the main table. Alright, so this is what I'm doing. I'll give you updates when I get further along. Getting ready to build the framework. This is the last of the shininess, as we call it. Now, if I can't get it off, although I am getting quite a bit off of it, then I'll have to move to my palm sander. Okay, again, I'm facing gookiness that's going to require me first going with the 180 on the palm sander, then I'll go back to the 320. Here we go. Now I put the 320, all right, on my palm sander. Here we go. Now that I've got everything sanded down, trying to make sure I got all the Gucci stuff, is now I've got to make a measurement. Now, the main top of the table is 63 inches long. So I'm making a measurement using my tape where it's going to fit. So I'm putting this at 63. Now I'm going to go to the other side. And what this is all for is I've got to build the framework for all this to sit on. Right, so now let's put this at 63 on this side. I'm locking my tape in place. All right, and I'm shifting this around. Okay, now I'm going to go back and check my other side one more time. All right, one more time. All right, now they're both at 63. So now I need to know, I got to make a measurement from inside to inside, both sides, set up my combo saw, and then I'll start cutting the pieces and putting them together. My inside measurement was exactly 8 feet. So sometimes, let me get that. Sorry about that. All right, so what is the inside measurement is exactly 8 feet. And what I'm, sometimes when the lumber company, sometimes the lumber company will send a piece of lumber that's a little longer to give you a little weight, but these are exactly 8 feet. Piece of poplar, okay, easy to stand. All right, so now I'm going to start putting it together. I'll have to find out where my sides are. Now what I'm having to determine is what is the width based off these little blocks in here. All right, so it's going to be 26. So that is my width, is 26. So I've got to make this 8 feet by 26 wide. 8 feet long, 26 wide. And I'll put the middle one, I'm going to have 3 of them, and it'll be at 13 inches. So I've already set up, let's spin it around. I've already set up on my table. All right, so that start building together. All right, so the rule of thumb is to measure twice and cut once. So now I'm going to be cutting what is called to the right of this line because I want a full 26 inches. All right, so I'm to the right of the line. That's my first one, and I'll cut the other and start putting them together. All right, after dry fitting this piece of lumber in the area that I need, I realize it needs to be 25 and 7/8, so I'm making that adjustment and making that adjustment. So now it's 25 and 7/8. All right, so again, I'm just going to dry fit it, make sure it goes in the area that's needed. It fits perfect. So now it's time to start putting this together. All right. So I'm going to spin around and show you that I've now got to put together right there. When working with antique anything, buildings, furniture, etc. So what I decided to do is measure. This is the old runner. You know, they don't want them anymore, okay? But so my support system replaces these old runners, right? So I measured the old runners, right? And it is like one of them's 1.5 inches, one of them's 1 3/8, one of them's 1 7/16. So my members back here are 2.5. So what I got to do is I brought my 2 pieces of wood that I'm going to be using as a support and put them in place, and I've got a 3/8 of an inch difference right here, which I'll build up for the little leg. And I want to make sure that all legs are equal. Now, right now, the floor's probably not level, the table probably not level. So if you turn on my electronic, it's telling me that it ain't level. Right? What I have to do is raise this up, and that tells me that that's level right there. Alright, so that's what the electronic level tells me. But what I'm using for right now is just to show me that I'm just a little off on my middle. I'll build it up, you know, by making a little shim that's like 3/8 of an inch, alright? And that'll solve that problem. But when we're working with any antique furniture or antique building, this is what you're gonna run into, alright? So that's what that looks like. And so around here, that is my support member for the middle, right? Okay, well, yeah, I decided where, I think it was a birthday gift, Christmas gift. Anyway, what I'm doing, alright, let's back up a little bit so we can see my face. Alright, I'm gonna pilot. I'm using, these are called trim screws. They have little bitty heads to them, alright? So I'm gonna pilot first because I don't want to split this wood. So I'm gonna first pilot the hole. Line it up and pilot the hole. Alright, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of wood glue. Alright. Just to make it stronger. Okay. Then I'm gonna turn around and put my first screw in, then I'll do the rest of them. Alright, earlier it was determined that I was going to have to raise the middle up by 3/8 of an inch, which this material is 3. So that means it's got, no, at 3.5. So that means I'm going to have to rip it down to 3. Alright, so what I'm doing now, I'm setting up my table saw at 3. I've locked it in place. Here we go. Cut at 12. I'm going to make a cut at 12. Oop. And let's bring it down a little bit. There you go. Alright, now I got to make a measure at 12. Now, let's spin the camera around again. Alright. So this has to be right here. Alright. Again, this is going to sit right here. Alright. So I got to lock this down. Okay. Yeah, I got to lock this down. So this is going to rest on these. Okay. Alright. And then it will screw down. Then it throws. What I got to do is now set these in place. Alright. Alright. So it tells me I've actually got to be on the edge of my mark right here. Just like that. Alright, so let me get this done and then I'll show you the progress. This is what it looks like this is where the leg's gonna sit to make sure. I had to raise this up 3/8 of an inch to match that. So what I gotta do is I'm not locking this leg down yet, but I gotta move all this out of the way, put everything, assemble it, and see what it looks like. That's what I'm doing next. I using my electronic level. All right, going from this leg to that leg. It says it's there, that it's at 0, right? So, now it's just a matter of taking this all out of the way, turn my main upside down, see if it fits. Okay, at this point I have dry fitted everything together. Alright, there's my framework, there's the support for that. This says that it is level between the two. So it's just a matter now of taking it back apart and glue this side and glue this side and address this tomorrow. So, oh goodness. So basically, y'all seen me gluing stuff. This is it for day 7, I believe it is. Day 7. It's starting to really come together. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get somebody to help me get it off here and flip it around on the floor so that we can start staining it. So, so I'm about to take it apart because it's drop fitted, and then screw it all together and finish it tomorrow, or work on it tomorrow, next day. Or anyway, I'm Backyard Carpenter. Baby Boomers Can Do. We are on YouTube. Jane is, oh, excuse me, let me fix my hair. Thank you. Jane is cutting the grass. So I'll see you in the next episode.